Analine, Baragalo never, Analine, Baragalo never, Anayelo, Malono, Nasanyo, Malono, Nasanyo, Monge by Casanyo, Monge by Casanyo, Monge by Casanyo. When a new wing and one, when a new wing and one, what a good number, Gaelo, never one, what a number, Gaelo, never one, I love my young, I love my I love my Abalo never, Abalo never, Abalo never,
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. So we want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for joining us here this evening. I am Afonso Zayensot of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Let me do a little bit of quick housekeeping here. We sincerely apologize, running a little more than 30 minutes later, but I guarantee we're going to also feeling that if this is the first time here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet, we say welcome, good morning, good evening, Chroma. I'm not sure where you are. Oh, South Korea. Wow. Man, thank you so much for always being awake. That's what I call being a patriot. Just concerned, not really matters what our political views or opinion, but your courage to always know what is going on, and you can just look in between that and see which ones that is acceptable. Because you're always going to have folks here, the analysts, the so-called liberals, and the rest of the folks who want to put their ways on us as a people, as a country, as a nation. We are not going to accept that. Well, very shortly, the analyst is going to be here. We are sincerely regret can't jump in here late. By the way, tomorrow there's a big event here, and that's what we've been working on. As you know, tomorrow is what? Dr. Martin Luther King. It's a big holiday tomorrow. And the ocean state of Rhode Island, not different from other states, they also the observance of the occasion going to be here. LPR going to be bringing you a live image. We have done all of the setup. Beautiful chandelier room. Tomorrow early morning breakfast. We're going to have a breakfast and great speakers understanding the governance of this ocean state of Rhode Island, state officials, community activists, civil rights leaders. They're all going to be in the early morning breakfast. The mayor from BIA Joseph going to be part of that conference. We actually were there last year. Last year we attended it, and this is what we try to do to get involved with what is happening right on our feet as well. Say I'm not here for flower this evening, but when you bring it on. You know me. Bring it on. We'll take it. We'll carry it. Okay, so guys, we want to welcome you tomorrow. Join us at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You're going to see images coming from right here from the ocean state of Rhode Island, where they're going to be the 41st annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Scholarship Breakfast, right? The program going to be held in collaborations with the Ministerial Council of the Ocean State of Rhode Island, Liberians, Ministerial Council, and that of other community activists. They're all going to be there tomorrow. It's going to be a colorful ceremony. We want to thank you so much for joining us. And by the way, we kind of square it off for Cape Mount Grand Jita Soccer Squad, boys from Zulu Whiskey. They're going to be heading to Monrovia. And trust me, in Cape Mount, no more eating cassava leaf. We will whip them. So we're going to take them to the Samuel Kanyendo Sports Complex. Yeah. They do not work out that day, they don't think you're going to work out again. We will beat them. So we'll be Cape Mount. We're going to be taking our Cape Mount. So we are also talking to the team. There's a lot of issues ongoing. So as we talk politics, we should also look at the other side of the world to support our various teams and be proud to support your county. You know, it's always good because it's not all of the time. So tell them to listen to all when it comes to politics. When it comes to this big social events, it is also good to God. Look at I'm trouble. Look at I'm trouble this evening. For nothing bold man here. Saturday good eater bold chairman, please. So please, I assume we confirm the dates we're going to be hosting, playing the soccer squad. We're going to be hosting them here. Leaving Grand Jita, coming to Monrovia for such a tournament is huge. It takes a lot. It requires financial resources, nothing less, nothing more. It's all about it to support them, give them the courage. They're going to be leaving their families. They're going to be away. We want them to be concentrated. When was the last time we took the champion? You know, you have the Lpr there here now who has declared himself a Lothian. Like he stayed with Sister Goya. Let him stay. Let him stay. I can't wait. If for any reasons, some kind of way, a Lofa and Grand Jita meeting, that way they will know how coconut got into, how water got into the coconut. So stay with Lofa. We don't need you in Grand Jita. We don't want you. You're nothing. As far as we are concerned, we are good without you. Okay. So stay. Let's see how long the Lothian is going to keep you. Okay, you got no palm butter there, so I don't know how you're going to manage. But guys, we want to welcome you to today's editions of the Examiner. We're going to be everything going to be examined here this evening, whether in the good or bad, depending how you're going to perceive it. It's up to you. So, well, we are here to discuss it, not necessarily what you want to hear, but what you need to know. And it is important when it comes to Liberia. We have to talk some of those uncomfortable things that you feel, for you feel uncomfortable. But yes, we have to talk about them. The tendency of always pushing stuff under the rug or sweeping it and just say, oh no, it's okay. This is where the problem is always coming from. We have to stop these things and let it get out from people's mind, out of their chest, and then we are good. All right, so hopefully the analyst is going to be joining us. Let me make sure. Oh, first troublemaker now can. He started without saying anything, but me already to know. Let me take my car taste effort because let's see how Lofa, because they are already waiting for Grand Jita to meet Lofa County in the grand finale and see what's going to happen. Just give me a chance doing a little bit of housekeeping here, try to connect the device because we're going to be discussing some really hardball issue. The politics in Liberia, what is happening, a lot of conversation coming out, everybody trying to seek a place. But Sister Warrior is here from Minneapolis, Minnesota, is a senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio. I thought Tiawan Bongo was the guy that was going to take the place. I don't know why they left the Brom guy out and they decided to go take somebody who, I don't know. But let me bring Sissy. What I maybe another editors we are hearing, they say they're going to be putting Tiawan forward. So let's see what happens. But let's have the conversation here this evening. Okay, here we go. Mr. Sister Warrior is good troubles. Okay. So I don't know which one is what is good trouble and bad trouble, by the way.
The late Representative Johnny Lewis is getting good trouble. Good trouble is the kind of trouble you're getting to make changes that benefit society. Bad trouble that the man costing perfect kind of trouble in. So we're not getting that one.
No, don't go there with the incoming senator.
Oh, sorry. Or they enter the dragon kung fu, man, jumping over there by that kind of trouble.
What kind of control?
That trouble. Don't call me and my cousin went to nothing. I have to go trouble looking for me. They went to nothing. Yes.
But no, on a serious note, I thought, what's going on?
So many can join what they body. So I'm not want to join what they body.
I saw the guy flying. It reminds me. Or in Basel Team H, Roxy was my favorite. This karate show, Black Dragon Revenge the Death of Bruce Lee. Oh man. And then Snake in the Eagle Shadow. Those were the
guy.
I saw the guy from for you.
Waterfall. You saw Waterfall?
Oh man. Then it just a cool guy. I saw the guy, and those are the kind of things he was wearing.
I thought the shoe for you. I said, but my man, I got a shoe up on them with you before we get into shoes now. I thought the other day I declared that our Colombo people in Minnesota gave me tele, that my name tele. Then you still jumping in battle over can they problem, you get problem. I was here the other day supporting our mama.
No. You gotta denounce yourself because you hear
I want to do what it is. And I give you one of their way.
But you have to pay for it because you're not from Grand Guinea. So how can you get dual citizenship? We're not saying it. Yeah, you may say he's starting with Chicago and so that you dual citizenship looking for. You better be careful. So man, I don't know. The hero is gone. Plus, the end of the weekend was such. There was a display of a lot of things on the serious note, and people want to give a different interpretations because tradition itself is real. Every region, every people have their own traditions, but I don't know. Certain traditions to be exposed like that, whether then is a tradition again, that's another thing. But and I'm quite sure when it comes to election time, then the gloves you really gonna be off. But I can tell you from I've talked to some prominents, a lot of people involved in the conversation. There's no one that Nima County can pick to be like Prince Johnson. I don't care what happened. I mean, nobody can be like Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson, since his transformation from the revolutions, whatever you want to call it, he projected himself. He became a compelling force that people. Every sitting president in the last couple of presidential elections, he was the kind of corridor, was the sort of bridge that you really have to go through. And it's simple. The Nigerians sees him as the guy who stands in the gap, who came and brought whatever redemptions, which they felt different way. And when you talk to the ground people too, they will say, yes, Samuel Doe. But since the demise of Samuel Doe, you can. There were other people came in, the Yaya name, everybody. I mean, the story is just a long road. People don't like to talk it, but we have to talk these things for the generation, for people to know, because some people they didn't really know what happened and too much is going on. But to see, honestly, and that's my view, I could be wrong, to see that what his name said, Koga, to be the kind of voice Prince Johnson had, I just think it's a complete illusion. Nima County is just going to be like a divided in terms of politics. The foes the gravitate of Prince Johnson, that's not going to be the cool guy. That's not going to happen because he left his party in the first place. So how he came, well, that's a family decision. But we're going to talk about that here. Let me just bring you in. How is this? It's so wet on our end here. How is your end in Minneapolis here? You going for the inauguration?
Well, the coronation of the Grand Wizard of the Supreme Order of the Evangelical Lutherans Ku Klux Klan chief. No, I'm not following the orange orangutan. I'm talking about Donald Trump, the president. I'm not following. I'm not going to.
You're boycotting or what?
I will be watching a much more reserved, much more respectable, much more responsible person who sadly had to share a day with this orange orangutan, and I'm talking about MLK. So I'll be watching the MLK events. There are a lot of protests planned. I'll be attending one of those protests to walk to memorialize MLK and to draw a line, a complete contrast between the incoming 4 years of accidents and racist ideologies and all the other pieces. But look, back to what you're saying about Koga. Love it or hate it. In my lifetime, I've never seen a politician celebrated at their death as Prince Johnson was. I haven't seen it. I wasn't around when Tubman died, so maybe there are other things that happened by that time. But we can all have our differences and our opinions on whether it was right or wrong. But he was celebrated. He was celebrated. And I think, I come from Lofa where we are steeped in tradition. There are certain things in traditions that are not meant for the camera. They're in camera.
Okay, right.
And there are some things, there are some, I hate to use the word devil, but that's what we know. But there's some country devil, everybody can see it. And women can see it, people can film it, they can do Omebeka, Bibolo, see all that stupid stuff around it. There are some of them, when they come out, there are members of the Poro that come out. In fact, there are some people who, if this is your first time coming out of the Pro Society, if you have not been back to initiate another class, there are certain level of the country that you can see. There are certain levels of our culture you don't see. So I don't know if what was done out there with Koga, again, I'm ignorant to Nimba culture. I'm going to lay out here. I am not an expert. I have not heard one expert come out and say the piece. But if what was done out there with Koga jumping over the body of the late senator was meant to be out of camera view and it got brought in camera view, remember, anything you bring to life, people have the right to discuss it. Right. So they can now discuss whether that's a good tradition or good culture or stupid culture because you brought it to life. I remember real quick, and I'll stop, my late grandfather was the chief Zoo of Zaza district. He was a warrior. He fought with bow and arrow and on horseback and captured white French people that were trying to encroach into Lofa County, extend the Guinea territory in Lofa County. When he died, we didn't use the word died. Because when he was still conscious and people knew he was about to die, the Zoos took him. And so we don't have a burial for him. We don't have a grave for him. What we say in our culture is that he went to pick more leaves. Whatever happened in that back room, all we know was that he got taken away and he wanted to pick more leaves. And what we knew was that there were a new leadership that came out. There was a new chief Zoo that we heard about. So I don't know if what was displayed over there was the same thing happened to my grandfather behind the scene, and now because all that camera were doing it in front of the camera, I don't know. But I do think that there was some part of culture, just like there's some part of religion, when they had the holies of the holy in Christendom. There are some places that certain powerful Christians go up, but don't go there. You don't show that power on camera. So I don't know if this was one of those things where we made a mistake and we show certain things on camera. I don't know Nimba culture, but I would say that at the end of the day, the way Prince Johnson was celebrated, I haven't seen that in a long time. I mean, in my lifetime, and I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing necessarily. I'm just saying that it was really celebrated by his people.
Yeah, okay. Here we have the most liberal on this network, formerly of the Liberty Party, now sympathizer of the Unity Party, the party that seems to be in trouble at this point in time. Too much of drama, a lot is unfolding. We don't know what's going on, chaos every day, every night. The Liberal Progressive, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Mr. So. Thank you for having me. Not only I am a guru, political guru here, but I'm also here very heavily involved into Liberian culture and Liberian history. And I will let you in on a few things here this evening. Quite recently, about maybe Ebola was 5 years or so ago. Before Ebola, Amar Kone came to Sacramento here with the guy who died in Ghana, they call him Sawyer. He came with Sawyer and another guy that came here in Sacramento. They spent, I think, about a week here.
That President Sawyer or another Sawyer?
No, there was a guy who was I believe, was Chatier Dite, whatever they call him, with Amar Kone. So this guy died in Nigeria during Ebola. In fact,
yes. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yes. But anyhow, the main thing I want to say here was we were sitting at one of the former teacher for Amar Kone. We gathered there, I think about maybe 6-7 of us. We were in a backyard. He had a gazebo over there, and we went in there. We were sitting down. And Amara Collins started telling us a story about his upbringing in his village. And he said, Mr. Toll, in fact, the question was why things are happening the way they are now in Liberia. Specifically, people have no respect for each other and what have you. And he said, Mr. Toll, let me just say this here. When I was growing up, there was a guy in the town. We all knew who he was. But the problem was we knew that in a big society, he was a big man. So when they got coming towards you, you dare not walk on his right-hand side and pass by him on his right-hand side. So every one of us, when we're coming towards him, you go on the left and go on his left-hand side. He said, after the war, when I came back for school, I went back home, everybody was passing the old man on the right-hand side. I was wondering to myself, what happened?
Welcome, hold on. Welcome one of the independent voices that represents the majority.
Look at politician there. We don't get them
your independence. They only go for Monday. I mean, go for Friday, Sunday. Yeah, after that.
No, Tuesday and Thursday class.
Tuesday and Thursday. No, Tuesday at my time when you come.
In college, when you get Tuesday and Thursday classes, at the time when you're taking history of baseball, it doesn't matter.
Right, it don't matter. But anyway, let me go back to this.
Whatever you want. Don't mind them.
On a very serious, Mr.
The liberal got to acknowledge.
You guys are disturbing my conversation.
Liberal recognize the independent. Come on, Libra.
I will let that one go. Let me make my point. So he said everybody was passing by the old man on the right hand now. That is the culture. During the war, if you guys can remember, there was an incident where Charles Taylor sent people in a poor society to disturb or whatever. And when they came back, those who were responsible, they couldn't stop itching their skin the whole day. Some of them went cuckoo, of course, but some were swimming on. They said it was swimming on the ground. It was raining. The history is there. Mr. So, you're quite aware of this in our own area. There's a town in Ivory Coast called To. There's a song that you cannot sing when you get in that town. You cannot, even when, in fact, as you're getting closer to the town, if you know the story, you're itching to sing the song, but you will dare not sing that song in that town.
I think they had like a bloody tie.
Yes, it was a bloody war. Right. And I know the whole history about the war, but you cannot sing that song. There are certain things in our culture, entire country. There are certain things that are not, correctly said, that are not meant to be brought out. But after the war, Liberia now, things are going upside down. That's why you see Marcos. We talked about that the other day. That's why you see people, they want to rather disgrace you, Papa. I'll disgrace you, Papa. They will call you Papa, then they want to disgrace you. You can never do those things those days. And what people are talking about, what we saw today, Geo culture is not too far from our own culture. You can't do those. Why would you be jumping over the dead body? What part of it? What kind of pro? They don't even have pro society anyway. The Mana people have pro society. So why would a girl man jumping over the dead body? What is that supposed to signify? A warrior? A warrior? As a warrior, when people go to war those days, back then, the story was when people go to war, the warrior would tell somebody, said, whatever that is happening, you stay between my legs. Don't look behind. If you look behind, the people shoot you with arrow or your gun, you will believe right there. Don't look behind. As long as you keep looking in front, the story is you will survive. Anybody that look behind that your bad luck. There are people those days that when you go in the forest to go cut bush or to go brush and the collar cut you, somebody will come and remove the sword. The stories are there. You can't do it no more. They start something cut you, they're looking for penicillin or terramazine to put it on there. Our culture is going down and it's becoming like nothing. We have culture. These are some of the reasons. Even if this is something that people do back in the days, why would you put it on camera? For people to criticize and start making fun of you. Because they don't understand it. And you will not come out and tell us the meaning. You will not come out because it's a secret. You will not come out to tell us exactly why these things happen. Now, we don't know about it. We see you jumping over their body. I've not seen anybody jump over their body. Their body die, people grieve and bury. You jumping over their body. Now, that's something else now people will be talking about. Why would you put yourself in those type of situations? But then again, it's like, Mr. So we will continue to see these kinds of stuff as our culture is being decimated right before our own eyes. But good thing though, there are some folks here in the United States, young people. See, this is what I always have hope for Liberia.
You get 10 seconds. I have to bring
you don't have to bring nobody in.
No.
Mr. So the Lpr is speaking. Let you go to Connecticut and go in the summer rain.
We're not too strong, so they want to bring it in before you go down.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just conclude, Mr. So. Let me just conclude. What I'm going to say is this: if for some reason these things are happening in a country, and we think, say, we got caution and what have you, but the most important one is the young people, highly educated young people, they still respect the culture. They are in a diaspora. That means the culture is not dead. Thank you.
Kind of bad story here. Two of you guys gotta be very careful. This is not a liberal show.
How part of the thing again? You better just keep dragging me.
No, you inside problem.
You didn't recognize me from Conabo Tele. Conabo District. You didn't recognize me.
No, you're not from you from Foya. Go, you and the liberal two are you together. Okay, Keta, good evening. Welcome. I don't know, but I believe bottom line is and you're quite correct. As long as it's brought within the public domain, it has to be discussed. I don't care what you do, because then we're going to look at what is there until you can come to tell us. But I can definitely, everything strictly is political. This guy making this guy to be projecting himself as like a new political Goliath, and he thinks there's no way Coca can be like like the late Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson is just a Prince Johnson, such and say. Everybody is just, any other thing you try to do is just a copy of that person, and you will never do it right. The way you are jumping, suppose you're going to fall down over the man there. How do I going to control those cameras? Anything can happen. And the reason I'm saying that is something knows, and probably people usually when it comes to some of these things, You have other witches, you have other people there who always try to test what you do. And if you're not strong in that, trust me, you go on. That was also we're talking that particular time. It is everywhere because the whole way they get society. Other people try to do, you see, other people there will want to come test you and do all sort of stuff here. But we're going to talk about that. Okay, Walton Ketter. Let me just, but besides that, there were a lot of strange things happening. And we're going to talk about that because it has a long-term ramification, political ramification.
If your independent mind is not careful tonight, I will clean his clock right here before your own eyes. So if you're coming in as an independent, he better speak truthfully to the government, or else I am prepared this time around. I'm not taking no president when it comes to the government. So anybody come in and try to bring on some sort of a false narrative, I will clean their clock.
Especially the crime man from Salala, but Mr. So don't want me to be the Loma man from Colombo district.
We don't have Loma people in Grenada.
Oh,
So let me tell you, are you the Liberal, before I go to my man Kettle? Are you an honest guy?
No, I'm not.
No, I'm just asking a simple question. I want to know who you are, what you really to represent.
My name is Samson Toll from Tolltown, Grangida County. The Liberal, River Bear.
Oh, you're not from Lofa again?
No. Listen now. I'm finishing. Quite recently moved to Lofa County.
Wait, say that again. What kind of river again?
That one, the river in Grangida, called River Bear. Sunday go up, Sunday come down. It ain't got no special way to go. That it need that I used to have when I was growing up, River Bear.
Okay, Kepler, let me just bring you in here. Let's do that. There are a lot of stuff here, and I'm more or less I'm going to take on the political line. What's going to happen ultimately when that seat is declared vacant and is ready to be contested. But let's watch this and see.
Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2.
So this year, let's be fair enough. These are MDR folks, right? Liberal.
Yeah. Why you calling my name? I know that.
Are you not part of the conversation?
No, I am, but I don't know these people. They don't know me. I only know Liberty Party.
Okay.
He only knows the other side, Liberty Party, not the chairmanability side.
No. In fact, Liberty Party USA. Liberty Party USA. Now, I know.
Okay. All right. Kato, his action is deliberate. He doesn't want to speak to A. It's calculative. It's been supported by Sisi. This is what these guys do. Sisi is the one always in the vanguard to create distractions into this conversation. And it's been heavily supported. Now more Washingtons are coming. We're in trouble again tonight, but we will make this thing clear. And another one.
Oh my God!
Why beer? You see, says the only thing I don't know what's not saying want to grow his own, but we will find out the reason behind it. Morris, good evening. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
How's everybody doing? The Liberal.
Thank you for recognizing.
How you doing, Brother Keller?
Fine, Mr. Moses.
Good evening, gentlemen. Happy Sunday, everyone.
Wish you the same.
So, Kato, these folks here, what was the essence of that? Are they planter? Are they pay agents? What happened?
Well, thank you, Mr. So, and I'd like to say hi to all the panelists here, great minds and stuff like that. I'd like to say hi to the viewers and listeners on this program. So, I'd just like to piggyback on the first topic, the traditional piece that my brother Sisi and the Liberal was, talking about. I think it's important there are some things that are not meant to be brought to the public glare. Look, we see this country, they got some deep secret in this country. They got some deep society. On the surface, you hear the name, you become member, except you go deep into it to know what they really do. But we have been to the place where our culture, our tradition has been exposed to the outside world to the extent where somebody who knows nothing about our culture would tell us that our culture is bad and we should abolish it, and we go and do it. Once we start to listening to people who are not part of us, who even look like us, telling us what our forefather did to survive way back, it didn't do nothing to nobody, and we say yes, it's wrong. We have become a country of slaves. We have become a country of remote control where people can pluck you here and haul you from there. I'm telling you, it's sad to say I never joined the Polar Society and I know nothing about the Sunday Society and all that. But when I heard white people telling our leaders that the Sunday Society was wrong, I found out that whether it was something that was bad for women, that is bad for women, our forefathers practiced that and they were able to survive for a long period of time. There was no talking about it until we start to see some of our folks leaving Africa, coming here and exposing certain things, and the people start to run with it. Look at what happened in Nima County the other day, right? When I saw the representative jumping over the body of the falling hero, right? So I didn't understand what was going on. Unfortunately for me, today I was able to get a video that the interview of former representative from the Nima County, and the guy was talking about the tradition, how the tradition worked, right? And he said, yes, it's the tradition. When a hero or when a great man, somebody who had influence, whether it was a parliament chief or somebody with great importance, died, for them to pass that power over or the right over to another person, and that person should be of a bloodline like a son, that person will jump over the body, and that person will wear our traditional bomber. He said bomber, you know that bomber? He said that person will jump over the body so that the person can take the right off a fallen hero or whoever the significant person is. Unfortunately, he said if Koga would have fell over that body, something terrible would have happened, because first of all, he wore lapa that not even resemble Liberian culture or the Nimadian culture. The first thing he did is the way the guy described him. He said even that right was not even supposed to be given to Koga. If Prince Johnson had a son, his son was supposed to take that right. And he also said the right for Prince Johnson's son or whoever to take that authority, it has nothing to do with the political things in Nima. He said it. He said it has nothing to do with political things. As far as concerned, you can take the right, but it doesn't mean that you will represent Prince Johnson as like become a senator after Prince Johnson. No, it's not going to happen, because they have other people in Nima that are bright, that got a lot of influence, that can run in the race, and they're not going to be the senatorial seat is an inheritance because Prince Johnson died, so you got to be given to Prince Johnson's son or Koga, who's supposed to be Prince Johnson's cousin, whoever he is. But it is, that just the cultural piece I want to talk about. We have a unique culture. And for us to sit down and allow people to dictate to others and tell them our culture is bad, why we can't even tell them about theirs, it's sad. Because you can't, right now in this country, I come in, brother, right now in the country, we all condemn or certain things people do in the country. And, to say, go on social media, we're not, but you know what I'm talking about, the people that are go the other way. You dare talk about it in your workplace, you fire.
The lifestyle?
No, I ain't talking about black style. The people that
can lifestyle situation.
The lifestyle I struggle with. Yes, the lifestyle we struggle with, right? people talk about it too much, you offend somebody, you're in big trouble. You understand?
Okay.
So let's
All
look at
right.
the political piece. Just the political piece now. Prince Johnson, prior to his death, complained about people not talking to him, people putting him on the side, and he didn't just complain to his wife. He complained on national radio. He complained to his partisan. To see people going over there to score political points, it was sad, especially the vice president.
How much Joe we are? How much Joe we are trying to scoop political point?
Hold on. Joe, we are in part of the establishment are ruling today. Look, give the independent chance.
Man, they complain about Joe we are too. You want me independent say both sides.
Give the independent chance. We're talking.
Can you hold your peace, please?
Yeah, hold your peace.
Chile?
Yeah, I can't even see myself. I can see my face.
Well, why are we giving Terramasi Seditian more time than anybody else here? Why?
Mr. To, when the independent speaking, you have to listen. We got the show here tonight.
All right. He was on his bedtime story here. Nobody talk about it. So why you want to talk?
Yeah,
okay,
coming down.
Terry, good to have you all here to welcome to the show. That is the Examiner. We want to examine every aspect of our society, whether we agree or disagree with it, and we want to have a conversation. Most, how is Delaware in there? We're hearing the weather is sort of horrible up there, Satu.
Yeah, we had snow today. And it's kind of cold here, but we expect the snow for the rest of the evening. And I think
What's your temperature right now?
Our temperature is 36.
You see, that is disrespect left from your own answer. You get 36 degrees, you're causing now. We are negative 10 feet and negative 40. You're not doing nothing to all here, man. That's disrespectful to
I got snowstorm there right now. Because having snowstorm right here.
You'll get 3 inches of storm for you.
Of course.
1/4 of that storm for you.
My brother, it depends on what
you ought to be cool, man. I don't know what I love my program. You ought to be cool, man.
I'm today from Konobo District.
You force it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, man. What?
And it took us the real took us can make that hot. It's so pepper.
Okay, Mo, talk to me before I go to Terry. I'm taking it from the political side. Culture, we want to value and respect people's culture, but the culture also some of what we saw displaying. I don't know whether there's some sort of health implication. Whether other people can do it, or we have these sort of rules exempted. Other people can do it, other people can do it. We can come to it. But let's look at the politics, the context, the politics side here. Do you think Koga will just pass through, or there will be some resistance within, considering what we saw from the U or the MD era as well? He was part of it. He left. He went to Liberty Party. I'm not sure whether they still sees him as somebody within the bare will. How they pick, does that mean everything ran up, or the real political fight is about to get underway?
Well, my reaction to what you just said, so, is that, as I always state, political parties in Liberia do not subscribe to political parties because I don't think that they have the strength to even survive on their own. And there's been a history, you might call it a culture, that political parties only exist to exploit the opportunities of candidates. When you have political parties and they cannot fund their own campaign and wait for the candidate to fund the campaign, then I don't think they're political parties. But I don't want to digress, but there are a couple of things that the burning issue, I don't know if it's a culture. I think it's becoming a culture. And my own problem with all that happened has to do with the visibility of high power ammunitions during these gatherings. High power. When I talk about high power, I'm talking about warlike ammunitions in the presence of surveillance, like we're still having war in Liberia. And I have an issue with that.
What are the warlike ammunition? What specifically are you referring to?
I
You mean
saw
their exhibit or what they are those stuff they were carrying or what?
Yes,
Are they
weapons those guys are carrying when they escort. I mean, when I saw when Yembley Koga Lawrence arrived, I saw people wear like weapons, just being visible. What is that supposed to mean? When the war ended, it was okay.
Yes, come on. We are on YouTube as well.
Yeah, you see. So what I'm saying is that I think it's given the culture some kind of credence, because after the war, it was okay to understand that Charles Taylor became president, and he was led to the presidency by the war, so he needed people to guide him because the threat level was high. But over the years now, since Ellen got there, we continue to see those high power weapons, the visibility of those high power weapons. Any dignitary that is traveling now has about 15 bodyguards that carry these high-power Tommy guns, as it's commonly called, and they're holding it in the form as though they go to a battlefield. I think the culture that has created is not good and conducive for the country. Who gonna come and do something? You go into a funeral that we need all of these people chasing the car with high-power weapons. And that's my own thing when we talk about culture. The culture in Liberia has totally changed since the war. How do we go back? And allegedly those people are security people. How many of those people are actually trained?
We're not going back, we're going forward now.
You see, how are those people trained to handle those weapons? You see, the mindset, like the wartime, we understand immediately after the war, but we've had the international community has recognized us for having some of the successful democratic elections. So why do we need the presence of weapons?
Okay,
and one thing that came up, I just want to allude to it. It was on the show that we talked about the gasoline being sold in these containers. I don't know if anybody saw that, but I see that they're looking to start going after those guys they call you or something that's selling gasoline. This very show we discussed that. I told them the kind of security threat level that the kind of security threat concerns that we have. So they must be listening to us. But that thing cannot be done if they don't create laws in the book.
Okay.
So that when you violate, you can be prosecuted. And it has to be a law or what you call it. The city has to do something with that also and put that through the city hall, and it becomes a nuisance to do that. And that's a threat level. But there has to be a law for gasoline to be sold in the can and the threat level that it creates. Without the law, you can't go and implement something like that on the street.
All right. Thank you so much.
Those are some of the things, those are my concerns. As far as Mr. Koga, I don't want to even get in touch with. I don't even want to get with that, because the first day Mr. Koga did his thing in Manoria, the media asked him, "What is this we're doing?" He said, "When we go to Nima County, I got to get permission from the people to tell you before I can explain anything." Only to get there, you start jumping on casket and all that stuff like that. So they explain nothing to us. They explain anything.
All right. That's a good point. As a security guy, you in your own world here. Let me go to the Reverend Bishop, the political Reverend on this network, grounded so much in politics, and as we all know,
Bishop, respected man, I'm Reverend now.
Bishop.
Oh, you're Bishop. You're Bishop. We are Bishop too.
And I'm Bishop. Don't want to say like plenty power bene, and I'm going to join.
Your own man talking it now. Okay, but Terry, let me just bring you in here. I'm thinking way ahead of the game. I don't want to be like the liberal then, to where their shadow stops. That's where their political thoughts begin. Now, I'm thinking in the next 1 year, 6 months, 9 months down the road, the future of the MDR, which is a founding party of the late Senator Prince Johnson. As you know, our political institutions always center, and you will hear me saying here, who is the next star, who is being mentored to take the lead. I don't know. The guy who Prince Johnson mentored to be the number 2 person, and today he's no longer in the party. The Koga guy said left, he was something to Liberty Party. Now, how would this party, we saw what happened to the NDPL. After Samuel Doe went, NDPL, that was the end of it. And many other political parties, because this is how the party they build themselves, just about the persons and not having some sort of backup plan. When that individual fades away from the stage, then there's a big vacuum. I'm saying this to say the sort of outburst or chanting that we're saying coming from the youth of MDR, would they have the resources 1 year, 2 years from now? Would there be any political party called MDR?
Well,
considering, I mean, Kun, who is a son, political son to the late senator, raised his hand, took him from down there and put him up high there, with the hope that when he goes, he's going to be there. He's not there. Will he be coming back home? And if he's returning home, how will he be seen to the folks with the Unity Party? That's a big something. What's your thought on that? And I want Ceci to respond to that as well. But let me bring you in.
thank you, Mr. So, for allowing me to share my thoughts on this thing. And I think I want to agree with most of the discussion here tonight. MDR is not significant without a significant political leader. Jeremiah Kun did not say he's not with the party. If you listen to him in that small list or something he said, he's the standard bearer of MDR. He still remains to be. If MDR will have to thrive, they need a political leader that is formidable, that is in the political arena of the Liberian political landscape. But if Jeremiah Kun have to become president, he cannot go with MDR because the laws of PYJ have already eliminated MDR. Like you guys have been saying, Liberia political parties thrive on one person. Once that person is out, the party dies. Who's going to support MDR? Who's going to fuel the party? So because of Prince Johnson, the entire Nima County will just see MDR, any leader they put up, they will take them. That is not going to work that way. And we must not negate the traditions of the Nima people. From my religious background, we are very sensitive spiritually to who takes over from the next person, because we believe in something that is called transferring of power. What you saw displayed over there with Koga was a transferring of power. That is why, from our background, we will note that there's a possibility that Koga could be the next senator in place of Prince Johnson, because he had performed a serious ritual that if I, being a spiritual leader from my religious background, would not have want him to do, but it have already been done. So he took over the place traditionally, culturally. If anybody can say anything that, oh, it's not going to affect the political landscape, blah, blah, blah. But if you understand spiritual things, you will understand that there is a transferring of spirit that have already taken place. That is why Koga jumped over the body and he didn't fall down. If he had fall down or if he had stumped his toe, then it's a sign of rejection. But he jumped over the body 2 or 3 times and he did not stumble, he did not fall. That is why they started celebrating, which means there is a transferring of spirit. And the Nima traditional people understands that, and they will win the hearts of the people in favor of that. Prince Johnson's body is a political body. Whether you want to take it in a way you want to do it, where Prince Johnson have brought himself to now. He has become a political figure. So any display or action that directs another person to take his place, everybody's seeing that person to be the next political leader. But however, the MDR have to. I'm not saying Koga going to win, but from my perspective and my background, what I observed over there was completely a transfer of spirit. What I think is that MDR is not going anywhere if they refuse. I saw that is the thing they were making over there at that place. You got to acknowledge that Prince Johnson was giving a barrier that I never in my imagination thought he would have. Like what Sissy said. Because for the kind of legacy he had, and that barrier will never be forgotten by the Nima people. And that barrier was at the expense of Jeremiah Kuhn and the president. So will the Nima people forget about all of that and say, okay, because MDR made a statement, so we're going to get the senatorial seat to or CDC. My thing about CDC is, if you think that what MDR said have caused a split in the Nima people mind or Yaya Nimle, put a candidate in the race. Let's see whether that candidate will win Prince Johnson's seat. Then I will know that the politics that is being played has succeeded. Thank you.
Okay, so let me bring Cecil here, and I would kind of restructure here, but you can also speak to A here. Not necessarily, my focus not that much only on the senatorial because it's a short term. I'm looking at the long-term survival of the institution, the party itself. Having said that, and taking your account into consideration, Cecil, now the Vice President Kuhn and Representative Kogana seems to be the big elephant in the room, as we can say for now, considering all what we've seen on the surface. What do they need to do right now?
So first thing first, MDR is in coma. Give it 3 weeks from now, they will be dead. Prince Johnson money was not MDR money. All those beginnings or whatever, that fading hair cap, then they got it 7 months ago to overwash it on washing board and fading. How long till they made to even buy a Fanta to drink? If any, 3 weeks from now, MDR dead. Prince Johnson would have run on the national satanic platform for the restoration of the devil. He was still winning the back country. So it didn't matter what political platform you're running on. So this is not about the political platform you ran on. I like the fact that, Terry, I really appreciate you for naming that about transference. Because even the Catholic Church, when the Pope is elected, when the white smoke has to come out, we don't get cameras in there. When the cardinals are voting on a new Pope, there are rituals performed in there. When the Pope dies, how the next Pope takes over. We don't see that. So for me, I'm really careful about coming out here to get it what might happen over there. I do think, however, I still stand by there are certain things that should not be on camera, right?
Right.
When you look at our culture and look at all the other cultures, like Wilton said, I go to church first Sunday. He said one guy sat down with 12 friends and he said, when I die, I'm going to eat my body and drink my blood. We do it every first Sunday. And as a matter of fact, we do it with some bread that not even like any for our God. They're funny looking, small waffle thing. We import it to Liberia, whereby we get jello shot in there with real jello.
You will not let Caleb, you will not let you come to church Sunday. You're done.
But we still do that because it is a ritual, it's a culture, it's a tradition. We grab people's nose. We almost murdered them. The mayor from Moses here is a national security. It's always attempted murder to baptize people. That's attempted murder. We do that without complaining. But when our culture comes out, there's no one to whine and complain. So for me, the whole piece about the Koga thing, I think, look, here is where the problem is going to come in. And to answer your question deeply, Mr. So, Koga, with all the joke we made around here with Chinese, Igbo, shoot on, whatever, looks to be the warrior that has been kind of ordained, so to speak. But a warrior is different from a politician. There are people who went against Prince Johnson in Ima County senatorial races, and he didn't get 90% of the vote. Prince Johnson didn't get, in fact, when he went against Edith Gonglo, he didn't get 80% of the vote.
It was a tough one.
So it is a difference between, because remember on the show I said that when we put into Sakopa, and the people said, oh, the warrior, somebody from the family of the warrior has to come out for us to say, here is the replacement of the warrior. And I think that's what they did with Koga. That is different from the political leadership. So will Koga be the political leader? And I think Koga has a head start. I want to own that. This particular barrier give Koga a head start. Anybody who is coming to try to fight Koga for the senatorial seat has to be strategic to say that that was a leadership for the warrior, not an ordination of the leadership for the political process. It will have to take a strategic communicator to say these are two different things. And just realize, because I know my brother is an independent, I don't put it to his face sometimes. Don't come here and talk about Jeremiah Kuhn politicizing system when your papa try to pretend like he can cry and TSA can come down to you talking about your way. A TSA can come down and he complain what putting laying into some compound with cars and everything, and he shaking hand with Prophet Key and everything. Don't tell us that I didn't go there to politicize that thing. Beku Bear knows nothing. There are two things Beku Bear knows really, really well. One of them are dancing, the other one are politics. And both of them are all displaced at Prince Johnson funeral.
So why was this stopping him? Was that the right thing to do in the first place?
Well, here's the thing. That was not what happened in Prince Johnson compound. It's not a state funeral in Prince Johnson compound. So if Prince Johnson people decide that they're going to stop who goes in there, it was not. He doesn't have a right enshrined to him to be in there. So for me, I can't argue on that. It was not like he went to the Capitol building where the senator was lying in state and the stopping. That would have been different. This was in the Prince Johnson compound. Everything that happened where they were political, from the beginning with the ugly burial, and all that, they now watch it 500 times and they're talking something that made no sense.
Do you have something against those guys, sister?
Eh?
Do you have something personal against these guys?
Well, not personal. It's just sometimes when you now watch a close too much feelings, so now you get a hard time on the shoulder off.
What's up? When you see these guys talking like this, does that suggest there are some sort of political apprehensions? Is there some fear?
Hold on, Mr. So,
Why are you telling me hold on?
Do we detect some kind of a bias here tonight?
No, you need to hold on.
It goes from CC come to me, then the man just come in, then you want to put it over my head?
No.
Mr. To, they know that that man network is still hosted at the Muna depending on young blood play will go off.
Or you don't want us to pile, you don't want us to pile it on him so much that he's unable to redeem himself here tonight. Go ahead. I'm waiting. Go ahead. Cut off, you take the floor.
You want me to play something here?
Mr. So, you're running your show the way it's here. Go ahead and run your show. Run your show the way you want it.
Okay, my finger itching now. I want to play something here.
No, that legal talk. That legal talk. Please go ahead.
The mentor more today. The papers are complete guano. You'll see him so. But the day my Christian network getting, I will play. Oh, it will just be the whole show. I say, yeah, listen, history time. You will play all here. But Keta, obviously that's how they're gonna speak it. Well, and it fits the situation. If that venue that's the venue of it was a Prince Johnson's resident, that's not a state sub. Sissy, he puts the cap on the head because he knows you're gonna speak to that. Let me bring you in, and let's see what most are gonna say.
Well, you know, I listen to my brother say Terry. You have to bring in CDC. I'm not a seditian, and I know I'm an independent, And when I
Because so what
supported,
that what,
Let
what
us
is
start
that
lying
thing?
to
What
us,
is it?
man.
Oh,
You on television.
when I supported President you're bringing me. I say I support President I'm not a sedition. You're bringing me. We are sharing. I agree. Now I'm an independent, just to clear the air. But let me tell you something here.
Why you don't like for Puerto to be a sort of a newborn, newborn? Why your problem?
They think when all things shall pass away, we gotta fight people your comment before all things pass away. Now,
No
all
problem.
things
Keep
shall
going,
pass away now.
Born again.
keep going back to my
Yeah,
past.
man.
That's a good thing.
Come on, man. What's your problem? The man say you're newborn. Why I want to take
Yeah,
it?
you want me to be newborn, that baptized. You see what the woman knows.
Boy, you quickly go to the labor.
Yeah, no, but on a serious note, right? So that's the thing. I keep listening to my brother Sisse and Terry. I ain't listened to the Tapata from the Laborer yet. But I mean, complete display of Tapata here. Nobody, not even the CDC or Liberty Party or other party people spoke. Those were people from Nimba County. Those were people from NDR. Those were other citizens that have political share in Nimba County, telling the world what they think about this whole Prince Johnson death, how the political cake gonna be divided in Nimba County. We are only saying, we who standing here looking, we are trying to analyze what's gonna happen. All right. So this the cake. When I listening to the former representative today, telling the world, because you were on Facebook, Spoon interviewed him today, telling the world that the death of Prince Johnson does not give Coca the right to become senator, to take Prince Johnson's place as senator. And say you're right. He can be, because that's the Lion Society according to them. So he can be the warrior in chief. But guess what? We ain't fighting war again. The war over. So that title just on him to sit in Nimba County as the warrior in chief. But can he be the godfather for Nimba County politically? I said no, because there are other big names in Nimba County that can challenge him. And you rightly said, Sissy, that when Prince Johnson went against Elif Gonglo, where he didn't tap Nimba County 100% or even 90% or 80%. So we're seeing right now, people are in the corridor having conversation. Who are we going to send to represent us? And I think what people think that culture apply to politics in Nimba County, the only reason it did honor Prince Johnson, because Prince Johnson, the Nimba people felt the old life to Prince Johnson, because Prince Johnson put his life on the line to save them from the tyranny of whoever were trying to get rid of them. In the head, Prince Johnson came to rescue them. He fought. People died on his, struggle, and Nimba County were redeemed according to that. So look at him to be okay. This the man when he said we'll go this, we'll go that way. But at the end of the day, where we are now, it's a whole different ballgame. Nimba County is a part to be shared among Nimbadians and other political parties who can play their cards well will get big parts in our era. So, President let me go to my brother Sisse. The era they had, I think the funeral or something like that, it was the LPMC, they say PRC or LPM compound. It was not Prince Johnson actual compound. I don't know where they lay him to rest was different from where they had when they were giving all those
it was his compound. The plane laying the rest was the compound that when it stopped just we have
his compound, but where they were giving all the prior to that they were giving all the tribute. It was not a compound, it was a government era. Anyway, when he went there, he was stopped by the police that was there. And I think that was wrong. Because even the Nimbadians who support President came and say, this can't happen. If you watch the tape, well, I didn't even know that happened until I went back and I saw the tape again. Why would you want to stop a former president from giving? As a matter of fact, let's forget about the former. But Prince Johnson's wife is George cousin.
So where you know that when he refused to shake somebody's hand to the man's death?
He ain't got to shake vice president hand. He ain't got no relationship with vice president. He does not have to. Let me hear. What kind of relationship? The very vice president you talk about, Prince Johnson said the man could not even speak to him before Prince Johnson died. He said it from his own mouth.
Okay.
He go open him up and start acting like he was crying over Prince Johnson. That's the reason why the youth of NDR, when you watch that clip, Mr. So, if you got that clip play, see how they were mad. They were very mad, and I think the guy only spoke. He said 2 words. He said 2 words, and those 2 words, if those people who went over there to preach politics, they're making a sad mistake. NDR, trust me.
But didn't your body kind of this place? You're going to nothing. When I even go there, you ain't care. You're all man. You agree with him?
Liberal, let me break in. Let's listen to this here a little bit. What I create some political drama there.
Even by the time that you are announcing, you fear the people. Because we have thousands of people who are prepared to be sent to be kept as so what is over? Develop. What is the contribution? What is the contribution? Did you know God formed before we aligned to bring fresh us? You gave the people, you gave young people, you gave pastor people, the whole people were upside down. God has brought peace, let the peace begin. See? This is not correct. Because the more you talk, the more you respond, the investor say, I cannot put my money into it. And this is why they try to cause an ammunition. And you know how that Joshua is the preacher of Jesus? Yeah, blessed by the Holy Ghost. Are you not happy? Are you not happy? Those who go to speech, I was so sorry the bishop stood down. In inauguration day, everybody happy. We are rejoicing over the defeat of the old regime. We are rejoicing about our effort to bring a new regime. Then we sit down with happiness. He wrote red paper for that 79-year-old man. He's struggling to read. Then he put there, I will tell you that nation, I will tell you US, I will bring one man for you. Because you see one man for you, Johnson. And by the time the owner was reading, and he comes on the
Liberal, let me break you in here. Remember just around the inauguration, and prior to the inauguration, the what his name, Darius Dillon, provocations, and he's been perceived he's the only Goliath in the room, or maybe war crime, court crime, he could be the only victim. And he mocked Boyka. Since then, that role becomes rocky. Will this factor in, not now, in the long run, as we've been saying, nobody, Prince Johnson did not come out publicly, but we all know from time to time he has made some complaint with respect of the breakdown in communications. And the Unity Party knows very well Prince Johnson gave them the presidency. What Boyka said, whatever it takes to dance with the devil, he's going to do it. And after everything, he decided to cut the song off from the devil. Here we are today. With this sort of language, that tone will be embedded in some people to see it like, hey, something is not right here. We're not hearing you.
Again, thank you very much. This is a very serious conversation we're having. So from time to time, we poke fun here and there, but we're very serious. Here's what I'm going to say here. Just before my father died, right immediately after graduation, another friend of mine had my graduation party in Accra, which is about 15, 20 minutes from Canton. And when we got there, he decided he wanted to play the video of the capture of Abdul and whatever happened after that. And I told him, no, I don't want my father to see it. because this is all on his wish. He just want to see what happened. And he always say, immediately after I see it, I'm certified I can die now. True be to that. After the video was showing, about a week later, he dies. But during the playing of the video, he was so angry with Doe. This is the person he has always wanted him to die. But he was so angry with Doe that when they captured him, he said, you knew very well they were going to kill you, but you did not cuss them up. You want to have some sort of a reconciled movement. You cuss them up. Let people hear you that you're angry with them. You say what they're going to kill you anyway. And you didn't do it. He was so angry. When I was driving back to Kenton that night, that's all he was talking about. And I said, I thought you said, you want to, he said, but that's not the way. He's a human being. Same thing here with Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson did this thing here. With everybody say he did this, he killed my own brother Robert too. There's no question asked. But the tremendous torment that the Prince Johnson went through in his life after he became senator, it is unmatched. This guy suffered. I mean, every time if you watch the video at the Senate, every time Dallas did he blows up. He suffered. There's no question eyes in his mind. Listen to what he was saying about this thing. The war crime. He tried to compare himself with Milton Blight and all those kinds of stuff. The traumatic situation that happened to Prince Johnson is not something to be played with. It's nothing to laugh at. This man, yes, he died now, but during the time of his death, most likely, if he was a true warrior that people say he said, the most likely, every night he goes to bed, he asks God to take him to get out of this situation. It's not something to play around. Prince Johnson died now. That's fine. I mean, not fine, but I mean, he's gone now. With the people who were going after the war, then that's what I brought my dad name on. Prince Johnson should have stayed every day and insult the people. Bring it on. Bring it on. Prince Johnson, I keep saying this to many of you, those of you that watch my show. Prince Johnson, like I said, he killed my brother. I have no reason to like him. None whatsoever. But Prince Johnson did not get up in the morning after swallowing heaven, get by in the barrier and say, I'm going to start war. There was something that pushed him to that. And these are things that we try not to remember now. Some of us are repeating the same thing again. It's just a matter of time for somebody to say enough is enough. Enough is enough. That's what got Prince Johnson to where he was. So we can't just sweep all of that under the rug. If I was talking to Prince Johnson, I was going to tell you every day you stand on that Senate floor, ask the people to bring it. And you explain yourself. If they want to kill you, so what? They kill you. But you have reason to do what you say you did. And this reason that I'm talking about is what Liberians saw displayed this 2 days. The love for him. It's not because Prince Johnson, everybody in my country, everybody knew you. They say Prince Johnson mean you don't get anybody anything. But so for somebody to say, I want to stand up for you. During the last election, somebody challenged Prince Johnson. And the person who was challenging Prince Johnson, he said, you're calling me a hero. The tape are there. Go watch it. You're calling hero. The one, even if he ran away, he went to Nigeria. That's not the issue. The issue was Prince Johnson was the face of the NIMA defense and NIMA support for each other in defending themselves. We don't like it. I'm not sure if he was defending people or if he killed people, because a lot of relatives of men that die that have nothing, that don't even carry a gun. But this is what people believe in. For the sake of peace, we have to allow it. Whoever replaces Prince Johnson can do so. Let me say one last thing. Going back to the culture. Coca got to be careful. Coca better make sure he got real cowtail. Because all of Prince Johnson, he's jumping over that barrel. And if the tradition hold the way he believes, everything the spirit of Prince Johnson was supposed to transfer in, not just the warrior, every wicked thing Prince Johnson, every good thing Prince Johnson, all of that's supposed to, can he handle that? Can he coca? Can he handle things Prince Johnson saw? Can he handle that? If that thing start playing in your mind, can he handle that? We got this story is yet to be told, Mr.
You're not answering. You're not answering. Okay, let me ask you the question. Maybe you didn't understand, and then I will go to Mose, or maybe Terry will answer it. Listen to what Prince Johnson is saying. You know, I know politics is like a bargaining chip to guarantee certain things. I gave you my support. I surrounded my support for some sort of protection. Was there any act of betrayal somewhere down the road?
So let me give it to you. This is no liquor talk. You must say we're not talking about I was giving it to you as straight as it is. Prince Johnson play Huawei to do. Baka play Huawei to Prince Johnson. So what? Huawei is what we do. With each of us, every Liberian, they play Huawei to each other. You remember the video that I just told you about? On that video, Prince Johnson went to the barracks. And told the crowd, anybody that touched Prince Johnson, you will have to deal with me. When Prince Johnson went back to his base, what was he saying on that video? I finished fooling him. He thinks say he and myself together, I will kill him. I finished fooling him. What happened? The people, Baka say, I want to dance with the devil. The Baka president now. Huawei, you gave anybody Huawei, they gave you Huawei. The crown people say when you look into the tree, some kind of log that fall down, got a hole in it. You look in there, something in that tree looking inside you. So Prince Johnson play Huawei, they play Huawei. So what that one, anything for me to come sit there and talk about it? No. That Liberian politics has always been dirty. That the same thing they did to Kumi, the same thing you do to me. So they brought Kumi. When they brought Kumi tells you you are an American politician. He get there, they said, we will show you. They brought Kumi. What happened? When they read the crown President Baka and then Ambassador Baka, what did they do? They were inviting Kumi to come and watch while they crown the same position he wanted, that they're going to crown the other man. That politics, like real politics, so, you can't handle it, don't join.
Okay. But Moses, do you agree with Liberal boycott betrayal Prince Johnson?
I did not say betrayal. I said Huawei. Please use my word correctly. I said Huawei.
That's another version of
Huawei. No, it's not. It's not betrayal. That different. Giselle, the man who took Terry, please help me. The man who took the thing, he betrayed Giselle.
Okay, hold on. I'm asking.
I said Huawei. I said then use the word Huawei.
Judas
Moses no Huawei. He not Moses. Moses
can you
Moses no Huawei. Don't say anything.
They told we were about to do. We were about to happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Moses.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I agree with something. I was in a barrack that he went there twice, not only one. It was the Tele knee you taking. It was Tele. In fact, that one of the things that led to the killing of Tele. And was really commander gave that instruction because you were trying to get at it. But this is what the Liberal is saying. Now he turned to an artist, now he turned to a musician. So I'm asking you, like the Liberal said, Joseph Boyka betrayed Prince Johnson. Is that you agree with him?
Well, I'm not in the capacity to speak to that, whether there was a betrayal.
Which capacity you're not in? Which one? Okay, which capacity you in? You see, this is what you guys do here.
Use the word Huawei, not a scene as betrayal.
But when you understand the betrayal, Prince Johnson ran a campaign for the team that said I'm going to bring war crimes court. So what's the betrayal?
Let me say this, Mr. Saw. I watched this with a lot of cautions. There were people who participated in the war who have passed on. Alhaji Kromah. Do we know what happened to Alhaji? Was he celebrated? What did Alhaji Kromah do?
At the ATS.
During the war. How was his celebration like? Did the government spend the kind of the money that was spent, the funding that was spent, and the amount of time it took to put this whole arrangement together? You see, those are questions that I'm asking myself. Prince Johnson is the same person who received sanction. Now, there was a gentleman who spoke, who said Prince Johnson spoke with him every day. I don't know who that gentleman is because his name was not written. But he talked about the deal that Prince Johnson had with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to buy time. I'm sure every one of you watched the video. And Ellen Johnson Sirleaf awarded him 12 years of the time because he gave Ellen Johnson Sirleaf the vote in Nima County.
It was Yaya Nimlin.
Okay. And then he went on to say that we have went to Prince Johnson and asked Prince Johnson. And Prince Johnson said, I want time. I will support you. And Prince Johnson went and supported him. And he led for 6 years. And then he concluded by saying he went to Joseph Barker. And Joseph Barker said, I will give you time. But Joseph Barker gave him Huawei. Now, how attentive...
That's the language.
Is there any other word you can use?
No, Huawei, that's it.
I'm not talking to you, please.
Well, the Huawei mean that Joseph Barker, he said, Prince Johnson did not want to give Joe Barker the presidency, but he gave him a son of Nima in Jeremiah Cole. And then Joseph Barker betrayed, and the president was sitting right there when he made the statement. Now, let's look back a little bit. I think that people here who can attest to it. When the sanction came down on Prince Johnson, that was precisely one of the alleged allegations for using his influence, political influence, to peddle funding from people.
Pay to play.
Quid pro quo. That was one of the reasons why Prince Johnson was under sanction until he passed away.
Mose, please give me 1 or 2 minutes of your time, please. 1 minute of your time, please, if you don't mind. I want to ask Mose, please, if you can.
Listen, we're not doing layaway.
Mr. So, he has a time. He has a time. He has a time.
They say Huawei get layaway. They may say Huawei get layaway.
You want to do a layaway?
Okay, Lebron, I'll give you some of my time to speak.
Thank you. Let me just know the version of Mr. So. Hold on, Mr. So, please. Let me make it important. No, Mr. So, please. Let me say this here. Mr. So, the same thing you do to me, somebody else will do to you. Mr. So.
I don't care. Let me go to Terry.
Okay, Terry, give me 1 minute of your time. Mr. So, that is a very important. It's very important.
Terry gave it, he forfeited.
Mr. So, this is Mose brought in some important point. I want to ask something, please.
Let me see. I get a call from.
Okay, Mr. So, let me add this on, please.
Hold on, cool calling. What's your problem? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We and Doru, are you back in Monrovia now?
Yes, sir. I am.
Okay, let's hear you. Why, you not me, your papi?
I can tell you. I can confirm that.
Is that yes or what?
That's security, man. You can't confirm that.
Annie, why you were forcing?
I said I can confirm that. That's what I just said.
Oh, he can't confirm it. No, denied it.
Okay, so what you can confirm, tell us now. You are on Lpr though.
I know that I'm on it.
Okay.
I'm saying thank you for putting me on Lpr. Well, I'm saying I can't deny. I met with him. I can't deny. I did not meet with him.
Why y'all just
ask your question. Don't worry about the other side, Mr. So.
Okay, tell us a little bit. You've been in Liberia. What have you gathered so far?
Did he join what Prince Johnson battled to? Can you ask him, please?
Okay, that your people ask you. Samson told Samson, the bishop, and the professor. So that they said they saw somebody jumping like you. Was that you?
Where? Jump where?
Over the casket.
Hell no.
He said, hell no. Why?
I will not do it. Traditionally, I will not do it. Morally, I will not do it. It's a disrespect to the body. I will not jump over anybody for that matter. So traditionally, it was not be permitted. So I know why it was done. no answer. And that's all I can say to that matter. But my part is I want to say thank you all to me, our crew here. I mean, they were very honest with me. They came to play with me. They did some the people for that. I will get in touch with them. I'll take back tomorrow. I just got back. I mean, I was sending a more video, but just the internet is so slow here. It's unfortunate.
Wow. Well, okay, that's good. The picture you sent, I was displaying here. Your me hosts were getting mad. What am I putting your picture up and all of that? That was not fair. So, I'll leave with you. Toward my here, why should I display your pictures?
Why? What is the madness about putting my picture? I didn't know why. Maybe you got a reason, so I don't know the content.
Okay, be hacking the security. You know the content. I say the man was better. You say I know the content.
The men are security men. The security people, they don't tell you say, I say. They go by fact. You think you come fool the man, you think that Dr. Mali here? I beg you, man.
Okay, talk to me here a little bit quickly before I go back to the guys. You left Monrovia, went to We and Doro, which is great. I mean, it was a really great time. Those pictures are fascinating. The reception was really overwhelming. What do you make of the security aspect, traveling to urban Liberia?
To be honest with you, we'll get a lot of work to be done. I don't know how it happened. From Monrovia to reach to my village in We and Doro. I count about 15 different gates.
15?
15 different gates, yes. And I'll be honest here, the 15 gates is like a black gate. It's not less than $500.
Huh? From the drivers.
Yes, that's the travel. So not $200, so not $100, so not $500.
And which
US?
Yeah.
We got it.
US or
LD.
Okay.
LD, not $500. No, not US, LD. And these are some of the things we need to work on. I mean, it's a disgrace that everywhere you go to drive the kids. First, we pass fire school. I mean, from memory was fire school. There's a kid there. As soon as you need your RIA, you make a left. But that's a little creek again. And two rivers said before we get to my place. So, for our fee, there's a kid there. When you get the cotton tree, there's a kid there. After you cross cotton tree to Farmington, you get another kid. Then you get to number one compound if you're familiar with Grand Bassa. There's another kid. Before you get to Grand Bassa, there's another kid. Then from leaving Grand Bassa, you get another gate. Then when you go to number one compound, you get another gate. Before you get to number one, there's another gate. Before you leave number one compound, there's another gate. Then before you enter the rivers there's another gate. I mean, so many gates. And at these gates are there, at least you get to spend not less than $200 or $100 or more than $100. So, for fighting no offense, or trafficking. So, these are some of the things. But overall, I mean, it is good to be here, and I can ask everybody that listens to me right now. There's a lot of work needs to be done in Liberia. We need a lot of professional people. We need a lot of cleaning up to do. To be honest with you people, it is not a joke. It's a matter of true. I've been here for almost coming to 2 weeks, and hopefully I'll be back soon, and we'll do a lot of discussion.
Okay, I was told there's a meeting planning. You have a planned meeting to meet with the president. Will you use this time to look in the eyes of the president and have these sort of conversations in a professional context? This is what I observe. This is what I see happening. Is that something you're going to do?
No.
Or everything just going to be yes, sir?
when I meet the president, I will discuss what needs to be discussed with him. Yes, I will bring it to her attention. Yes, I will. And definitely the opportunity to know that I'm meeting with not only the president, plan to meet with some hierarchy, senators and representatives, and these things will be discussed. And to be the secretary of mayor, chairman of the Unity Party, and I brought some of these things to their attention. To be exact.
The chairman still who? The chairman that still get inauguration report on. If you make you asking whether he not made a report?
No. But these are elements. These are people who are in high position. These are things you bring to their attention. So I definitely
Okay. All right, Mr. Brockon. I mean, it's good to be back home, and there's a really colorful pictures. How many cows you ate, my man? Or goats?
No. I didn't eat cow. No, I never ate cow.
Well, how many goats?
What that one got to do with you?
He can't have any goat. Nobody can.
You can't count that. You know, I mean, every week, every Saturday, we're getting one.
No, Mr. Store. Mr. Store.
That's an animal abuse. You can't count.
Mr. Store, my brother will agree with me. We in the security forces do not accept gifts because we can't easily compromise ourselves.
The one you eating that
why they go you better eating here, you not compromise yourself. The Muslim ever play
profession deters us from accepting gifts. We don't accept gifts.
So Mr. So let me add this context to what Moses was saying earlier. Moses, if you don't mind.
Okay, go ahead.
On a very serious note, when Moses was explaining here earlier, he mentioned something about Alhaji Kromah. Few days after Prince Johnson's death, and especially when he went to the Capitol and now everybody was celebrating, there was some Facebook article written from who I assume to be a Mandingo person. And that article was very, very, I mean, if you are not a Mandingo person, you will not understand it. But you have to read deeper. He said, look what we do to our leaders. When they are our leader, we don't pay attention to them. Look at him. He died, according to the story now, and I don't know that, but he said he died begging. He said, look how the people celebrating Prince Johnson right now. This thing is not quite done yet. All of the warring faction, they were fighting based on their own support from their own community. And the way this whole thing is going, people are now looking in their own war faction community to say, okay, look what happened here. Are we going to do the same thing? The same way celebrate these people? This is much, much more than just celebrating Prince Johnson. I just want to add on to Moses' statement. Thank you very much.
Thank you for helping.
I don't think they started with Prince Johnson. I don't think they started with Prince Johnson though.
Just hold on 1 second, please.
Yeah, 1 second. Let me just get that. I don't think this thing started with Prince Johnson. And I think the difference between Prince Johnson and the other and Alhaji Kromah was Prince Johnson won an election. Kromah did not win any election.
That's understood.
Kromah never won an election. Prince Johnson won several elections. Kromah was never a kingmaker. Prince Johnson was responsible for the presidency of Ellen, George Weah, and Joseph Boakai. So they're on different playing fields.
Okay.
Well, allegedly, because
that's not alleged. The data is right there. Anybody Prince Johnson didn't follow, you win election abroad. I'm not alleged.
So now that he died now, so nobody going to win election again?
Exactly.
That's not a point, but
that's not a point. It's that the hand that Prince Johnson raised, they didn't win election. Joseph Boakai to dance with the devil. He had to win Nimakate. He lost Nimakate to George Weah last time. He didn't win presidency. For George Weah to become president, he had to dance with the devil. So that'd be fair.
If George Weah has conceded the way Prince Johnson wanted to be done, George, we are going to get a second term, whether we like it or not. If he just had a political calculation, that politics is all about giving and take. If you agree with that, whatever arrangement,
he left to the table now. He's shaking hands with Prophet Key then. But if he had come to that table a long time before that time, he would have won election.
Oh my God.
You see,
The man left to the
Gotta put a
table.
negative spin on that one.
and you see,
Again.
Y'all ran with it. Y'all ran with your own propaganda.
see,
That we are
Mr. Starr,
make sure he can forgive.
that's why I was going with my conversation, because when you pull rope, the country people say, when you pull rope, rope pull bush. So if you say something that has happened during this time, you have to look at all the other issues that came about that needed to be addressed as well. Now, the question here is, do we now say because Prince Johnson is going to war crime court is closed? From what we're hearing people saying, the argument is that's the route to take it. But I don't think the issue of war crime court is over. It should not be over.
But there has not been no official pronouncement of that. Why people equate war crime court to Prince Johnson?
Exactly. My point. They shouldn't, because as soon as that happened, there were clippings. They were clipping, they put down with war crime court now. Prince Johnson is not synonymous with Rob. He wasn't. He was not responsible for war crime court single-handedly. There were a lot of people.
Well, if you ask me, I would disagree with you.
Every
advocate that ever advocate for war crimes going like Liberia, they did it with Prince Johnson name at the first,
including CDC.
Well, my brother,
but there has to be a mascot. There has to be a mascot. Doesn't mean it's that by him. Tomo Yaya didn't stay around.
You never hear Tomo Yaya need surface.
They're supposed to stay around. Then they can nobody stay around. My own cousin. So
we got people stay around. Why are we equipping our team alone? The TRC report, have you read the TRC report? Most of those allegations was not.
The reason this sort of soundbite came out because it came from some higher up, and that was their own perception. But I think the issue of war crime court is not a one person.
There's not a one person thing.
We said that there were other people who were responsible directly, indirectly for some kind of thing taking place. Everybody needed to answer the question. Okay, but let's hear Mr. Jerry Washington. So when are you making the old man? What are you making?
I cannot tell you the date and the time.
I didn't know to tell you that.
Why would you even want to ask that kind of question in public?
So the men are security.
What's your problem?
No, but the men are security person.
So ask me the question. They are appointing a man deputy for operation and NSA. He'll be in charge of torture. He'll be in charge of torture. That one they're putting in charge of. So he's in charge of operation for torture.
You yes, is it? You want to talk about? You want to be? Yeah, this is a man, a bad man. I don't know why they're hanging with it. And in position you want to give him to torture people in the 21st century?
No, we don't call it torture. We call it interrogation.
Sorry, enhanced interrogation.
Enhanced interrogation.
Of people who bury their conscience under the Sacramento tree.
Wow. Terry?
Now, my question, my question to Jerry, to Mr. Barkham is this. When he spoke of all those 15 gates, who were the people connected to those gates? Because we saw something where the chief of police, the IG, arrested a police officer and said he was soliciting with money in the bags. I don't know if it happened at one of the gates.
They went on security.
I don't know if it happened at one of the gates, but who were the guys at the gates that were there? The 15 gates.
Okay.
Well, the 15 gates is a joint security, to be honest with you.
Okay, joint security.
Yes, I did all the gates that I was
okay.
DEA, you got police, you got immigration.
Okay.
I mean, in a blinker officer, but these are visible people that you can see.
All right.
So it is not just one police officer. These are all joint security.
Okay. Now, will the gates continue to be there, or they just had the gates because of this funeral perception?
What kind of funeral? You all been having a gate there ever since?
The gates are all been there.
You all been having a gate there. You again, you know. What? So
if you travel from Monrovia all the way to half on the other places,
so
if you travel from Monrovia all the way to Santa to San Polo, go ahead.
So back on, the president knows about those gate, right?
I believe so. I mean, well, anyway, when the president traveling, the convoy is always open.
Oh, when you come in, then they move the gate. When we come in,
you see, you come in tired around the president now. It move everything.
Wow. Get up,
Mr. Oh, as soon as you talk about Joseph Boakai again, just go straight to your all the way inside your screen or your head.
Well, you're making good concerns. I mean, he's making a good argument. You know, we can't let the president go through the gate with people, but Jared is saying that it's joint security. So obviously, the president is in the know of joint security at these gates.
But maybe he's thinking, maybe the president know about it. I'm traveling there for that. That's the reason they have the gate there.
Gary,
I'm listening.
Is he aware of those 200, 500 be dropping?
There we go. You see what I'm talking about? Let me cross. Mr. So good night.
Some of the questions he asked, I don't get it.
I'm telling you. I tell you.
Well, Moses, I remember about the gate. So when something dropping, you don't know who they go, where they go to where he said.
I'm not expecting you to ask the kind of question.
I tell you, Jerry. I tell you.
I mean, those are serious questions.
No, they're not serious question.
Prior to Mr. Boakai becoming president, he passed the gates. He told the people to take money from people.
Well, we are at the same gate, so they'll get.
Yeah, it's not strange. It's just a practice they put doing umbrella. It's so wrong. The security,
but the gates been there since Ellen time.
No, those gates. Ever since the gates. Exactly. I mean, that's how people. It is why in the next 2-3 minutes gather, they just pour one.
They just found their gates.
And Sonny, everybody gotta eat something. I mean, it's there.
Yeah. When I went to
when they hear the sound, they know the time when they come in, they run away. So that it is what it is.
Yeah. She said they even have vigilante. She said they have vigilante here. Oh.
Okay, Mr. Bacon, look.
I'm a need for that anyway again.
He said you are supporting the vigilantism.
You have vigilante here. Oh.
I know it's so late to you. We are already out of time here. Is there any word what time? Is there anything you want us to hear from you before you will let you go?
Let's go ahead. Back in the morning here. Let me see what time it is. It's gonna be after 3.
But who crying behind you?
Most of that young baby.
Who got your baby?
That my daughter want, that my granddaughter still.
Oh, I thought that enhanced interrogator already enhanced interrogating somebody.
Hold on, I guess you crying for a juice.
They can start with so much info with the interrogation. So.
No, we gotta go. The liberal dollar crying for juice now. The program coming.
You said he interrogating the baby part.
Jared, thank you for calling in.
Jared is in charge of the black sites.
And we
all the black sites
for you to come back.
Let's hear you, Jared, before we go.
No, I say seriously, there's a work need to be done in this country.
Yeah.
And what I hear those that listen to me, we need professional people in this country, and we also need to open up the character for people to come and work in this country. If we always try to close that gate or the doors, it's not going to work in Liberia. We need to open that character and for people to come in our country, especially we in Liberia. That's where we need to come home, and regardless why you're professional or why it's your political affiliation, we need people in this country. And it's my observation here. Those are in Liberia need to accept. Those are coming, those are returning, not only from America, but for all over the world. We need to accept it. There's a work need to be done in Liberia. I'll be honest with you. But
Did I get your team?
Thank you. Do what?
Did I get your?
If I want, listen, if I want to work, it's not about. It's not about when I want to work. But if I want to work, I will find it. I don't even have to work for the government. I will still get contribution.
Before you tell him put a car when they start coming down, that you get paid for them.
Somebody asked if he saw Eugene Fagon.
To work for the government. I'm not doing just
like Eugene Fagon.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
Opportunity here for us.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I saw Eugene Fagon. You want to know who saw Eugene?
Okay, gentlemen, I think time has caught up with us. It was a good. Terry,
oh my God.
let me bring you in. I know you have not spoken. You listen to the liberal.
Long time.
You listen to another version from the Biden's war. Let's hear you. What's the scripture war we're carrying home for tonight?
Well, I'm just enjoying you guys scrambling and discussing, but actually, the spell over Nima County is broken. From my religious background, is a good thing for Nima, because when a person of that sort dies, the eyes of the Nimbadians will be open, but it depends on who's going to channel it.
So that the men are closing their eyes.
Yeah, the man had the domineering control over Nima County. He decided the fate of Nima.
Are we looking at it from a positive perspective, or what?
A prophetic
from both negative and positive. Negative and positive.
Okay.
Yeah, he dragged Nima County into making decisions that he wanted them to make, which is negative.
Okay.
You know, and that should not have been. The Nimbadians should be able to make their own decision in direction to where they want to go. So I think the spell have been broken, but the ability, who's going to channel it, who's going to now be able to channel the Nima County people in the right perspective, in the right direction, that I'm yet to see. Or the war is deception. That is one of the things I noticed. In war is deception. President Boka may have told Prince Johnson that, hey, yeah, we will do this, we will do that, but it is not. It don't depend. Like people say, Prince Johnson, you know, died from stress that because President Boka betrayed him. But I don't want to believe that, because up to now we have not seen no medical report stating that fact. People just jumping on people.
I want the level back up people.
You know, no medical record that state that Prince Johnson died from stress. His wife had not said to speak to it, to say, oh, you know what? Yes, my husband died from stress, this, that. The wife spoke to the place. I know she spoke, or somebody spoke for the family. She didn't say anything. They didn't say anything like that as regarding how Prince Johnson died. Prince Johnson died like a normal person would die. Prince Johnson hit, according to biblical studies, Prince Johnson hit the 10 age required for a spiritual leader to die at. So, and he died in his home. He didn't die at work. He didn't die on the street. He didn't fall off. So now it is good that people will make politics out of it, because in Liberia, that is what they do. Everything is political. Somebody just jump from the corner. Oh yeah, Prince Johnson died because the people say the War Crime Code coming. First of all, the War Crime Code is still a resolution. It is not a fact. It has not been established. You still have to go through many other procedures. What if the War Crime Code was just a mirage? What if President Boka wanted to present a political mirage for people to say, oh yeah, President Boka, to boost his morale politically? So yeah, the War Crime Code has not been established. So you can't determine the fact that first of all, Prince Johnson went on an investigation, he was found guilty, blah, blah, blah. That is nothing. Opposition do not have anything on the thing. They will just drive a narrative that is going nowhere. My thing to the CDC is this: leave CDC, put somebody in the race. If you think that you can make it, if
but
you
we're
think,
going to CDC, why you there?
Huh? I don't know why you there.
But we are saying why you there for that?
You say you're not sedition. What
you say you're not sedition? You're not we are saying you nothing. You never
what kind of thing you get a fly in the whole thing?
If our president, I will not call you to shake your hand like the way you shake the other man's hand the other day. I will not shake your hand. But Prince Johnson was a religious man, and that jumping over the body, if Prince Johnson was truly a religious man, nothing of him was transferred to Koga. That is what I want to say tonight. If Prince Johnson was truly in Christ and fully in Christ, the jumping over his body, all the kind of tabata thing, nothing was transferred to Koga.
Terry, can I say something before you finish? And you know when you buy a new phone and the same will return your old phone, you can return it to factory mode. The return Prince Johnson the factory mode, default setting.
Because to be honest with you, if Prince Johnson was really the Prince Johnson that I knew he was from the past, something would have happened over there. That I leave my home. Yeah.
Okay.
You start drinking your dollar juice now.
The Papa recruited me, so I drink it.
If you don't mind, if you don't mind, I just want to say a few words and then I'll depart.
Yes.
Just to pick it back off of Terry's comment, we got to understand that the Nimba County terrain politically has been a very active area since Totman days that I can record. In the 60s, I know Superintendent Guanu and Robert Kennedy in the 60s were arrested because allegedly they was trying to overthrow Totman. And he collected, I think, about 4 or 5 superintendents. And those were the new states. We just celebrated, what, the 64 reunion in Lofa? All the new states that the Grand Jida, Lofa, Nimba, and Bom. Those states, they collected all the superintendents and said that because they brought them out. That was about five years into those counties joining Liberia, that they arrested those guys. And I was a low man in Lofa, and I know Robert Kennedy, the former superintendent and minister of labor, youth, and sports, was locked up there, including Nima County. And so Nima County has always been a tussle politically when it comes to governmental issues. Allegedly, well, they saw them as adversary to every government because they spoke a lot. The people from our area were very submissive, the Lofians and the Bom. They were very submissive. They just used to call them to come up. The Nibadians were the one who questioned the leadership back in the day. That's why it was important for Totman to have that meeting in Sunny Coast to form the OAU. Because he felt there was going to be an opposition there from Nimba, that all the other counties were going to just, allow it to happen. And so historically, we see this coming. So I'm with Terry that, and most of the guys here, that the death of Prince Johnson and the kind of cloud he had in that place, either negative or positive, would really change the trajectory of politics in Nimba.
Okay.
It definitely will have a change on that. So I will close on that, and maybe hopefully tomorrow we can talk about some other things that Jerry brought about. But Mr. Libra, thank you for not asking too many questions. You owe me 2 minutes of your time.
We'll redeem it in total time. I've been with you. When Mr. So said, don't give me your time, he said, you give me time. I got 5 days to get you back.
The Libra get you away.
I know, right? We've
No, really, highway. That's so highway people then here. Okay, that's all I see you before we go.
You see this show, they sort of bring everything out to the public glare. And I like when the Liberal and Sisse and the Tapata Ravine.
But Sisse, you're not easy on the juice now. You're really You
I,
really
I
want
will,
to
I
use
will call it how tell like he
That
hustle.
Sonta, my man, Sonta finished ever since that Sonta is drinking tonight.
Oh, the bishop too coming for me. Oh, can I see that thing? She came from school in her lunch bag, stay over to in my office. She brought it down to my office and she left it. So
Oh my
now buffet
God.
down hold it. Jaha with
Yeah, the buffet.
So they are in the leg, lunch bag, all you start going
The
out.
buffet, ground
Yeah,
hold it.
me even drinking the tea with straw. He cut the tape.
Oh, you are seeing me cutting there. I got it here right here.
Anyway,
He said, I want everything from inside. Nothing will lead
go
there.
ahead and before go liberal ally and so
No.
that's
Oh my goodness.
I think most of
no.
juice here too.
On a serious note, look, great show tonight. You know, it's good to put some like humor in it. I mean, for us to laugh and have fun, but it's serious, right? So I see the Libra and the other people showing the real Unity Party, the Unity Party that full of deception, the Huawei Unity Party, Mr. So. This is the talking point for the whole week. We know the Unity Party, they are Huawei people.
Tomorrow, that my show. You got no whole week. Where you got whole week? Hey.
They Unity Party are Huawei people. No, but on a serious note, may his soul rest in peace, Prince Johnson and the family, you know, take solace in the Lord and all that. Nima Kante, like Terry said, I agree with him. The politics would change either for the good or for the bad. And I start seeing the bad side coming up because what some of the people expected from the traditional side, that it may boost their ego, like the likes of Kuga. I think now he gonna take the senator place at the national legislature, right? I think it's far from the truth because we have other Nimbadians who are strong, influential, and they will be in our race. They will not let tradition to oversee or overshadow the politics, the democratic processes in the county. So I mean, we'll just keep watching and seeing, analyzing further, and we'll get to know sooner or later, what's happening. But what I see with the ND and how they call it, the Prince Johnson group, the party, if they're not careful, they will disintegrate. There will be an implosion that will cause them, like the CPP, to scatter, because I start to sense it a little bit. They were angry, they shifting blame, and at the end of the day, you got other opposition that can use that to infiltrate and further divide them and make Nima County a place where it will be, everybody will get the share of the pie, like Monserrado County.
Thank you so much. Okay, Mr. Goya.
Yeah, look, it's good that given the mosaic of feelings that Prince Johnson's homegoing has rightfully brought up. There are some people who are sad and it's based on their beliefs that Prince Johnson was a savior, and genuinely, a lot of people believe that. And there are some people who feel like they got robbed of a chance at justice because they believe that Prince Johnson was a pariah. And rightfully so. And I really want to call it out because I know he said this over and over, and I know he's not smelling like for people to call him name, but to the liberal. I want to really take this time and say that I hope that you and your family find some healing, however difficult it is. And I want to recognize that beyond you, there are so many other people who have similar stories about how Prince Johnson negatively affected their lives. But the fact that we can still sit here, you can sit here with all of that heaviness and still discuss the way we move forward. I was on a show today telling people about Liberians are good at, we admire our problems. We can sit and talk about all the problem, admire and be in love with our problem without providing any solution. And I think you've shown over the last few nights, you've been talking about it. I've been trying, I've just been listening to you. You've shown that. And I think to sit there, we can joke about it and all the other things. I think that's what Liberia needs. When I talked the last time about us being a traumatized nation to my brother, Keta, that's what I meant about how do we move forward? How can we, with all of these heaviness, with everything here, move forward? Koga is going to get challenged. Prince Johnson was challenged in Niba County. All of the way he put his life down for everybody, people still challenge him. So Koga is going to get challenged. It's going to depend on the political narrative that the challengers bring to the table, right? And I think they have to be able to define him in his Fonse Yu Shaolin Temple clothing and be able to move. Yeah. Tell all the member, you know.
I still believe a man will win, yo. You go bring the one going to say a man will be yo.
Don't come on, man. But I said, no, go to the one that had the black tennis shoes on. You have one black tennis shoe on from the beginning. But having said that, I truly believe that the elections in Niba County are going to offer a new perspective. There is, whenever the leader dies, there's always people that are scrambling for power. I said this yesterday. I still do believe that between Joseph Boakai and Joseph Boakai was the right choice. But I don't believe that a presidency should be led by one political party that also dominates the legislature. And that's why I said, if the CDC and the opposition come up with a good candidate, I will support that candidate over the Unity Party because I want to have a balance in the legislature. We're looking up to the CDC to take that lead. I hope they don't put their foot in their mouth and come up with some kind of crazy person that we all run away from. But we're hoping that they can come up with somebody better. And I really do think that even though the funeral where George Weah was stabbed today was yesterday was at the house of Prince Johnson, I still think optically it was wrong. George Weah is still former president of the Republic. He deserves respect. Blocking him, stopping him from entering somewhere was unnecessary, even if it was at a private residence of the late Prince Johnson.
Okay, LeBron, before you close, do you think, because CDC more or less is one of the major opposition, I don't know whether ANC, Liberty Party, I don't know whether they are aligned, whatever it is. You see, and that is the problem with our Liberian political parties. Election finished now, they're gone. They're waiting on the eve of election before they start going overnight and start doing stuff here. Should CDC test her political will, regardless of them, what are they? You see, and that's a lazy thing. I don't understand. But this time, we should begin to see a signal, a sound, potential person, because the party does not have money. Their finances only rely on the leader. That's how you're supposed to do it. Just what we see happening there, you can capitalize that and make some sort of investment, and not now, but more or less for the presidential to see where your weakness and where to go to get the vote. But trust me, you will not want to do it. Do you think if CDC is to be relevant in the political cycle of the space, should they throw somebody in to test to see what their strength is?
Well, thank you, Mr. So if you listen to Sister Goya, then perhaps it will be a good idea for them to test their strength by trying to collect data. But Liberia politics is not about data. And I say again, the data business just starting recently when Amara Connor going around with a drum of paper and then everybody started carrying blue plates, stuff like that, how they collect data in Liberia. But no, on a very serious note, I don't think so. I think CDC, the fact that most Nimadian that are within the Prince Johnson circle and what have you, they've always blamed Joy Weah and President CDC for not being able to provide the kinds of luxury that CDC Nimadian deserve because they believe they gave the presidency to President Weah. And President Weah was not able to give back. Well, because they believe the president, because they were looking for a lot of ministry from President Weah. They were not able to get it. They were looking for a lot of position. President. In fact, that's why President Johnson and what's his name, President Weah fought out. And in fact, at the very end, when President Weah decided to dismiss that man who now Minister of Labor, it was because of those type of conversation. Now, I believe, and I'm saying it again, anybody that put forward against coca, you're not going to get it. Don't waste your time. However, CDC and President Weah can use this opportunity to try to tell anybody whatever happened in the past, we're done with it. We're not going to put any candidate against you. But it must be announced that we don't want confusion. You don't have to announce it as though you want people to know that you kowtowing to anybody. No. But you announce it in a way that to say, look, we know politics in Liberia has confusion and it has some bad connotation.
Or what?
Oh, says it not sleeping, says the
No,
right.
that's your independent voice. Keto.
No, I like President Bwaka, and I'm sleeping on my
No man,
that Keto are talking about.
No man, we're going to drink juice.
At least doesn't on the phone. I read it. I read it. Africa earlier edition.
Because you don't want all to see the man sleeping now.
Because I know why you're doing that.
I read it from Africa earlier edition.
You be talking about the papa sleeping. Let you hear now.
I ain't
sleeping.
You remember when the
over 600 people watching you sleeping.
Brother,
I was snoring on live platform.
Yeah.
I read it
He meditated.
Okay. All right. But let me say this. So President Weah and his people can come out to say, look.
I get Chani.
We're not putting.
Okay.
But you know the whole
We're gonna
let me finish my stuff now.
Wait, I want to hear that we actually saying you're gonna have
Chani. Don't worry.
say the whole, you know what, the whole thing here now, I think nobody want to talk about the woman battery being there because anytime you talk about it, they go on the other side. So nobody, you not go there, women not going there now. So nobody.
We're not going anywhere. But because we pray for him to get long life every day. But let me just say this. So President Weah and CDC, they can come out to the Nimanians to say we're not putting anybody against Coca or whoever that's supposed to replace Prince Johnson. We will let you guys decide within the house whoever you guys want to replace Prince Johnson. But we will not come out as a party to support a particular candidate. And if you do that, but you're also giving your members, your CDC, the power to go and support whatever candidate. But you as a CDC and the standard bearer will not come and campaign or hold somebody's hand. If you do that, you at least bring the temperature down.
CDC what your consultant say. CDC what your consultant say. Libra.
Sit down.
And that why you're always putting your foot in your mouth. Mr. So, I want to ask one question here to see if you will allow me to do that.
Who you asking questions?
I'm bringing my coca juice.
I have a video here.
I want to see Pepsi playing alligator juice.
They juice skin with the coca soup. You know when you buy that soup from the Chinese play against juice that the juice here again.
Mr. So I have a video I want to play here.
Mr. Boya, I want to see Pepsi playing
will you allow me to play it?
What kind of video is that?
It's a video I just want to show a little clip of it, maybe 2-3 seconds of the clip.
You want to do it now?
Yes.
If you don't mind. Play it.
Send it to the CEO for that CEO.
What CEO? Don't. Mr. So, am I allowed?
Hold on 1 second. All the time we're having program, you were planning something behind the scene at the end of the day for you to just throw it out. Is that what you think?
You think what Aketa was sleeping? Man said, I think what Aketa was looking at.
Mr. So, am I allowed?
Let's see where it is. When boss was off. way.
But the man don't know that local man.
What
That
is that?
That CDC
I just
map
want
is
to
doing
announce.
double.
I just want to announce to all of you, this is going to be my new opening. Whenever that I open my
The
program,
last picture the liberal.
Oh, after you cry for Fadu picture, you cry. They give it a play. You go night. They all know drinking people children juice here. I can't find people to sit down.
this is going to be my opening of my show. Most
They
of
made
the
them a
time,
4th grade picture and put it up. I got my bears on.
That picture do not look like a person from Lofa County. I don't know why.
but this is not all. I got the thing going for almost 5 minutes. So this is going to be my opening of my show because I usually come up 5 minutes after I open it.
Please don't go in my gallery and take a picture from there because
that CDC map, that man was doing CDC map. Not correct. I see 2.6.
Remember when they have color spot when they have color spot or in like that about color spot picture there.
on Randall Street.
Yeah, there's another picture. There's another picture here where he's standing by the wall that he wrote. I love you like fish love water. I got that picture too.
Labor is a political guru. He can use these things then to do a thing.
Labor not for saying the man Gary Donnell.
Okay, but that will be my opening. I just want to show that will be my opening.
Gentlemen, your good night. Tomorrow.
Good night. No, what time they are this your unapproved activity is gonna happen? Is that in the morning or in the evening? The board didn't approve it.
Yes.
What is it?
The question you asked.
Okay, is it in the morning?
I will talk to you.
Mr. So, if the board don't approve these kind of activity, we have to have a conversation behind. All right, good night, Mr.
I get OAL and you get power to the thing they get something on you.
Yeah, well, I talk about all of y'all. That way you got behind the scene.
Wow.
No, don't play it. Let's go ahead.
You took me way back to that, man. Thank you for that. That was funny. That Esther picture.
Yeah. You watch and see tomorrow.
I want to see the I love you like fish love water.
Okay, but the man will not let me play all of it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I took that picture and you can call about it.
He not for Jerry and Terry aside. I said, new friend now. Is it
Says it coming be the co-host?
No.
Nobody can put me co-host. Everybody put me co-host. I think we need to start on the show here. We will be co-host together.
Yeah, that one was not even last year.
Mr. Toe, be careful. Let me quit to tell you Jesus where, but you must go before the chapter that says Jesus where.
You're good there, Baba.
Good night.
Right.
Oh, God.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Libra, thank you. Keta, thank you. All right. All right. Sometimes we just gotta crack the nuts and I get it all going. But I think Nima or Nima gonna be a real tussle ground politically. Trust me. They can take whoever they want to take. The sort of the spirit of Prince Johnson, I don't think it's equivalent to that of Koga. So Nima are going to be like a real a battleground because after all, everybody want to gain the spotlight for how many years this guy was dead. So living now, it brings that open fee left for them to sell themselves and add value to their political strength. I want to see that how that happens. Until then, folks. Thank you so much. Have a pleasant night. Bye-bye. All right. We say good night. Trust me, Mona, the liberal try, Give a fatu program with the Lpr, so the Lpr not going to use a picture. That's not part of that Lpr tabata there. So let you go grab Sissy and grab Jerry, Washington, and the rest of the folks. All right, guys, have a pleasant evening by God's willing. We're going to be back here. Join me tomorrow morning if you have the time. It's going to be a colorful ceremony. The 41st annual Dr. Martin Luther King, the governors of Rhode Island, state officials, I believe Senator Jack Reed, other local state officials, human rights advocates, civil rights leaders, they're all going to be there. Where there this event already is set up, it's going to be a beautiful program tomorrow. And LPR are going to bring you live happenings at this ceremony. We also got to get involved, not just only like, bro, we need to get involved into what is happening in our own communities, cities, and states. Until then, have a pleasant event. And thank you for sharing your evening with us. Bye-bye.
You've worked for months